Personally, I just love serving my country.
Right now on NonStop Local at 6 o'clock, 350 members of the Idaho National Guard are in the nation's capital to help with tomorrow's inauguration, the role they'll be playing. Plus,
now, do we have much further to go? Of course, but I think we'll survive.
remembering two civil rights leaders during the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, the role the late Reverend Happy Watkins played in changing Spokane.
And our coldest temperatures of the winter so far will be here tonight. Some of us will fall into the teens, others into the single digits. We'll break it down for you in your weather forecast as NonStop Local at 6 starts now.
This is KHQ NonStop Local at 6.
Well, the colder temperatures not enough to stop people from enjoying winter fun here in the Lilac City. We spotted several people hitting the Numerica skate ribbon this afternoon, but as you can see, they were all bundled up today. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm John Webb. Let's get right over to weather forecaster Justin Spinnie. And Spinnie, it's going to be another night of freezing.
That it is. Again, the coldest night of this cold snap tonight, John, is what we're headed for. It's already cooling down quite a bit out there. Take a look at our current temperatures. We're already down to 27 in Spokane, 21 degrees right now. Chilly over in Coeur d'Alene, 20 degrees as we look up into Deer Park. And without the cloud cover tonight, this quick cool down is going to continue throughout much of the night down to these low temperatures. Again, our coldest temperatures of this winter so far. We are expecting to hit a low tonight of 11 in Spokane. It is going to be quite cold as you head out tomorrow morning. We're going to be down into the single digits for some of those northern valleys. 8 degrees for Colville, Sandpoint, 6 degrees as we look up into Bonners Ferry. Even where it's a bit warmer down toward the LC Valley, still looks like we're going to hit a low temperature of 24 tonight. So it was nice to see the sunshine today, but again, without the cloud cover, there's nothing to trap the heat from that sunshine in. So that steady cool down is going to continue by 9 o'clock in Spokane. We're going to be down to 20 degrees. Then after that, you're going to continue to see those temperatures fall down to 11 degrees right around 7 a.m. That's when we're going to hit that low temperature. So freezing cold as you head out the door tomorrow, John. Bundle up.
You're still coming to start my car up tomorrow, right?
That's right. I'll keep it running for you. Turn the heated seat on, everything you need.
Oh, I love that. All right, Justin, thank you. Well, come this time tomorrow night, there will be a new president in the White House. The inauguration for President-elect Donald Trump is just hours away. Mr. Trump paying respects to the armed forces with a wreath-laying ceremony today. The inauguration itself will be held indoors tomorrow because of the frigid temperatures in the area. Meanwhile, let's get you a live look at the White House right now. Security all across the nation's capital stepped up ahead of the inauguration. National Guard troops from 40 states, including Idaho, are a part of the security teams making sure nothing happens tomorrow. Steve Dent has more on Idaho's role in the peaceful transfer of power.
The entire exercise is a great training event for us.
350 soldiers and airmen with the Idaho National Guard board 3 C-17s and 1 C-30 destined for our nation's capital to assist with the 60th presidential inauguration for President-elect Donald Trump.
We are supporting the D.C. National Guard. They've been supporting the inauguration for years and years. I've been told back into the 1790s.
The Guard has been preparing for this mission since November, when volunteers from around the state signed up for this mission. But for many of these troops, this will be their first time experiencing our nation's capital.
It's very exciting. We're going to have a really cool time over there, and this is a really cool once-in-a-lifetime experience to be able to go be a part of. So we're all pretty excited.
However, this is not the first time the Idaho National Guard has offered their services in this capacity, as they helped keep the peace during civil unrest in 2020 and later held a similar role for President Biden's inauguration. 10% of the troops went on that mission, and they will hold leadership roles this time around.
I'm thrilled about it. Being a member of the National Guard, we get two missions. You know, we have our federal mission, but then as National Guard soldiers, we get the unique opportunity to serve our fellow citizens in roles that the federal troops cannot be used in.
Well, the Guard will be tasked with crowd management, vehicle control, and emergency response services while being ready to perform any tasks needed. Both sides of the aisle here locally reacting to the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump. Chair of Spokane County Democrats says most are disappointed but are ready to protect who they call the most vulnerable. Meanwhile, the Spokane GOP chair is happy with the election outcome. He says he's looking forward to Trump's promises.
Anyone involved in J6 should be pardoned day one. That was incarcerated arrested, harassed. Maybe there were a few that trespassed or did damage, but because the process was so corrupt, I think you just have to wipe the slate clean.
With the January 6th, they attacked our democracy. They tried to invalidate millions and millions of people's votes across the country, and then they cried foul.
Also disagreed on the deportation of undocumented immigrants. Spokane honoring the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. this weekend. A commemoration service and celebration was held this afternoon at the Holy Temple Church of God in Christ. The event ran from 3 until 5 o'clock this afternoon at the church on West Indiana Avenue. It was held in partnership with Black Minister Alliance. Along with MLK, Spokane celebrates the legacy of local civil rights leader Happy Watkins. Watkins co-founded the annual march commemorating MLK here in Spokane. He passed away last October at the age of 82. NonStop Local's Ainsley Anderson spoke with a close friend of Watkins who says he is continuing the fight for equal rights. Ainsley, good evening.
Good evening, John. Yeah, Pastor Walter Hendricks says that Happy Watkins was a mentor, a close friend, but most importantly, an inspiration to the work that he carries out every day.
His humor, his courage, his long suffering, those are the things that come to my mind first off. Yeah.
Pastor Walter Hendricks with the Morning Star Baptist Church, reminiscing on the life of one of Spokane's most notable civil rights activists, Happy Watkins.
Now, do we have much further to go? Of course, but I think we'll survive.
Hendricks says civil rights in the Inland Northwest have come a long way in the last few decades. He says he is carrying on Watkins' efforts for equality. Hendricks is the executive director of the Spokane Community Against Racism, a group founded after tragedy struck.
And we came into being when a person was murdered. At least we thought it was murder in East Central.
The shooting and killing of William Poindexter.
A guy by the name of Eric Bushnell was skateboarding with guns and knives as he was skateboarding.
Hendricks says when Bushnell passed by, Poindexter was walking away after an argument with his girlfriend.
Bushnell shot him in his back from 30 feet and killed him.
When the case went to trial,
12 white people deemed him not guilty of murder.
Pastor Hendricks says the case sent shockwaves through Spokane's Black community.
We knew we had to do something, and we thought that if that did not shake the community to its core, then nothing would, and that's how SCAR came into being.
Hendricks says the group has a hand in many of Spokane's events and marches, highlighting the fight against racism.
Happy passed the torch of the fight for justice and the fight for rights to me, and then my time is coming where I'm going to pass it to someone else.
In Spokane, I'm Ainsley Anderson, NonStop Local.
The Spokane Convention Center is hosting a unity rally, march, and resource fair tomorrow to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The rally is happening at 10 a.m., the march at 10:45, and the resource fair runs from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Human rights organizations are calling on Washington Governor Bob Ferguson to expand protections for immigrants and refugees. Advocates want Ferguson to create an executive order expanding the use of pardons and clemency for immigrants facing consequences for old or vacated convictions. They also want the Keep Washington Working law to be updated and for the Department of Corrections to stop sharing release dates with ICE. The requests were outlined in a letter sent to Ferguson back in December. Across the state line in Idaho, lawmakers there are considering a bill cracking down on undocumented immigrants. The bill calls for anyone who enters the country illegally to face possible deportation. First-time offenders would be charged with a misdemeanor. The second time would become a felony, potentially leading to being kicked out of the U.S. As far as how much it would cost and be enforced, the bill sponsor says that would be addressed in a full hearing. We have this just into the newsroom tonight. Firefighters in Coeur d'Alene spending part of the afternoon out in the cold battling this building fire. Broke out just after 12:30 this afternoon on East Adelaide. The fire broke out in a detached shop. The owner did suffer smoke inhalation as he tried to put the fire out himself. He was treated at the scene. Firefighters from Kootenai County Fire and Northern Lakes helped. Out of our North Idaho newsroom tonight, a Rathdrum man is dead after a crash in Bonner County. The Idaho State Police say the 43-year-old driver was on Spirit Lake Cutoff Road near Dreamcatcher Lane. That's when his car went off the road and into a wooded area and flipped. The driver was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash. Investigators believe alcohol may have been a factor. It remains under investigation tonight. An injured hiker rescued from a steep hillside in Whitman County. The Stoughton County Fire District 1 says it got the call about the man around 3 p.m. yesterday. They say he was 8 miles downriver west of Clarkston with broken bones and couldn't walk. Crews were able to get the man off the hillside using an off-road vehicle. He was then taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Kootenai County Fire and Rescue crews resting tonight after finishing up another 24-hour shift in Los Angeles County. Photos posted online show them spraying water to stop the flames from returning. Meantime, firefighters are also going through the rubble trying to find any human remains. There is concern the Santa Ana winds will return tomorrow, increasing the fire risk. The social media app TikTok back online tonight, hours after it went dark and offline. It comes after President-elect Trump says he'll sign an executive order tomorrow restoring the banned app. As you can imagine, many content creators are excited by the news. Carter Kolpicki lives in Idaho. He has more than 280,000 followers. He says he was prepared for the app to be offline for a while, but says this was never his main source of income.
The income I received from TikTok as a side hustle, and I was very fortunate to make money there, but it was used to pay off my debts, my student loans. And
President-elect Trump also proposed the U.S. could take a 50% ownership position in TikTok as part of a, quote, joint venture. A Spokane woman turning to you and the Help Me Haley team in hopes of finding an early 1900 solid oak dresser and detached mirror. The heirlooms belong to Aunt Carl and were accidentally donated to the UGM in Spokane Valley. The donation was made in late last spring. She has been searching for weeks and came across a similar one that she hopes the person who has her dresser will trade for. If you can help, contact Haley through the Help Me Haley tab. It's on our website, nonstoplocal.com. Taking a quick break here on NonStop Local KHQ at 6 o'clock. Still much more to come tonight. The Gonzaga Bulldogs have lost 2 games in a row. What the Bulldogs say their leaders need to do to get the team back on track.
And it is a cold air, but a dry air that is over the top of us tonight. We're going to stay dry through a good chunk of this week, but things may change just a little bit toward the end of the week. We'll talk about those changes to come coming up. Want to share with you a very cool photo. Our friend Allie Ray, great wildlife photographer. She called this the Eagle Circus, and she was getting some incredible photos out there. This is a very, very young eagle that she got a photo of. Allie, thank you for sending that one with us. Whether we're in the sky or on the ground, though, it is going to be very, very cold tonight. Temperatures, again, down into the single digits up into the northern part of the region. I've adjusted that forecast for Coeur d'Alene by degree. I think we're going to be around 10 degrees, so we may stay out of the single digits. Meanwhile, Spokane still looking at that low temperature of 11, down to 12 tonight in Pullman and in Moscow, even Moses Lake at 19, Lewiston at 20. So there's those areas that are historically a little bit warmer. John, we're going to be cold across the board tonight. Bundle up.
Yeah. Stay away from Lookout Pass, too. 0 degrees.
0 degrees, yeah. Cold at those mountains, no doubt about it.
Just a little chilly. Thanks for joining us tonight at 6. We're back tonight at 11 o'clock. Hope to see you then.